Do you like Thanksgiving as a holiday?
Do I? Okay. Let me answer this carefully.
Threw you a curveball right out of the gate.
I like okay. I like I like having all the food, all the different food options, most of the food options. I like seeing, it's nice to get together with family for a little bit. For a little bit, Sometimes it's like, people that you don't see all that often, not that anybody's a tough hang, but, you get in a room for a couple hours and you go, are we good here? Like,
it's easier to get the extended family, although we haven't done it for a few years, but it's easier to get the extended family on Thanksgiving because if you do it at Christmas, there's like who brought gifts and who didn't.
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
So if you do it you can get a big group at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I like doing that. I like seeing some folks that I haven't seen in some period of time.
Mm-hmm.
You said that you don't like turkey all that much and you don't like pumpkin pie.
So I want to clarify this. First of all, no, pumpkin pie is trash. And that's not to put down any moms or grandma's pumpkin pie or anything like that. I'm sure to a lot of people it's great. And I did not say I don't like turkey. I like the dark meat of the turkey more than anything. The white meat turkey is like, this is just big chicken. And it's dry and it's, it's not all that good. It's just not all that good.
I'm going to be the guy that says, you haven't had it cooked right. Well, no, I'm not going to actually say. I like deep fried turkey.
Yeah, of course. Deep fried turkey is I'm going to say it's one of the greatest inventions. Like, you have the invention of the telephone, the invention of electricity, and deep fried turkey. It's probably top 3 for the 20th century.
But like if you can't get on board with the white meat of a deep fried turkey, I don't know what to do with you. You make these things called coney chongas. So,
oh yeah, the coney chongas. We even did them. That's evolved. That's evolved significantly over the years too.
Tell people what a coney chonga.
Coney chonga is a much like a coney dog. If you're from anywhere near the Cincinnati, Ohio area. It's a hot dog. It's a piece of a hot dog with chili and shredded cheese wrapped up, and sometimes chopped onions, wrapped up into a flour tortilla and deep fried.
That's a coney chonga.
That is a coney chonga.
And now you're doing them not vegan, but gluten-free.
We came up with a way to do gluten-free this year.
Because you have a friend that...
And it was lovely. It was lovely. Because we have a friend who's got a gluten intolerance. So
I didn't prep you for this, but you do a Friendsgiving and have done a Friendsgiving every year for many years. I find Friendsgivings to be so much better than Thanksgiving because it comes without any of the hassle of the family stuff. Like if you have any sort of family issues, not that we do, but lots of people do.
Yeah.
My wife has lots of family issues.
Yeah.
So I think the Friendsgiving is the family you choose. And I just like that so much better than I like Thanksgiving.
I would argue that, so we do Friendsgiving with my college crew, which I feel like we invented it, but I don't know.
No, you didn't, but it's fine.
Well, we've been doing it for 25 years. Like next year will be 25.
I think that's incredible.
Yeah, it's good. And everybody brings something. That's when you get some of the more, unique, the more interesting Thanksgiving food.
Yeah, because
like
it's
somebody
not.
Everybody.
You don't have to do a traditional.
Yeah, you don't
thing.
have to. We have somebody has mashed potatoes and we deep fry a couple turkeys, but then we have coney chongas, and then we have like fried. This one of our friends does deep fried Brussels sprouts. It's just good. It's great. It's great. It's just good stuff. Yeah, the Friendsgiving sometimes is better. It depends. I like getting the small family together sometimes. Sometimes that's kind of cool. But just circle back around. Think about when you think about turkey and pumpkin pie. I want you to think about how many other times during the year you actually eat pumpkin pie.
I bought a turkey,
and I'm going to argue if pumpkin
ago.
pie was that great, if it didn't suck, we would be having it for like birthdays and 4th of July.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Pumpkin pie is great. You need it with Cool Whip or whatever stuff you put on top, but Don't come blaspheming in the studio. About
Apple pie
pumpkin.
forever. Wu-Tang. We are just two middle-aged refugees from Generation X.
Man, we grew up in a time that was a lot simpler than it is today.
Could we gamble on sports back then?
No, not really. We did, but not legally. But now?
Now we can, and we can talk about it on a podcast, and we can talk about a lot of other things too.
And we're going to. I'm Lanny.
And I'm Andrew.
And this is Bet Small,
Lose Small. All right, week 13. Man, this was fun. Thanksgiving week.
It was the Black Friday game too, but the Thanksgiving Day slate gave us 3 upsets in a row. Well, I don't know if the Packers was an upset, but they were favored.
Yeah, I don't know if you can qualify any of those as necessarily upsets.
No, the Cowboys over the Chiefs was an upset.
Yeah.
Not by record, but the Chiefs were a road favorite. The Bengals crushed the Ravens.
Killed the Ravens. Oh my! Let's first of all, before we go into this, we haven't done corrections in a while. I want to just correct our performance from last week when we mailed in an hour and 15 minutes.
We
worth of a
did not
show
mail it in, but we weren't prepped like
we
normal.
We didn't recap any of the games from. We didn't really recap the games from the previous week. We didn't really preview any of the games this week. We were just you'd exploded a toilet. And
yes.
I was getting ready to drive to Michigan, and it was just...
I did not actually explode a toilet.
Your toilet exploded. You can tell the truth, man. It's fine.
The toilet exploded.
The toilet
It
exploded.
had nothing to do with any human excrement.
You exploded. A toilet in your house exploded at your hands.
All right, so we're on the ball this week. Let's start. Packers Lions. Packers go into Detroit, and I feel like the Lions are in big bad trouble because they're not second in their division where they have been. They're third.
Yeah.
The Vikings are terminally bad, but the Lions got beat by an okay Packers team at home, 31-24.
So the Lions are in trouble now. It's starting to become pretty apparent that they miss Ben Johnson more than anything else.
I have to agree with you at this point. I thought that they would eventually get it, but they're not.
They had this, they were in this game, kind of. As far as the score goes, the flow of the game always felt like they were a step behind Green Bay the entire night or the entire afternoon. And they're, now they're in a position where, I was watching this in Detroit in Michigan with, there's Detroit fans
Everywhere.
Filling the living
It's
room.
just like,
okay.
Like Bills fans.
And they're going, and these folks are like, they're ready to fire Dan Campbell up there.
Oh,
they're ready to they're losing that game. They were like, well, there it goes. We're not making the playoffs now. I'm like, guys, settle down.
I would agree with him that they're not making the playoffs.
So you agree with that now? You think the Lions are in that bad of trouble?
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs now.
Okay. Okay.
Because with 7 teams, you get the 4 division winners, and then you have 3 more teams, and that's it.
Well, let me look at the standings while we're talking here, because now we're getting into the portion of the season where every single one of these games is going to matter, and you've got these teams that at 7-4, you wouldn't think that that's such a catastrophe, except that the NFC is loaded.
It's really
loaded. Good. It's starting to look like, maybe the Eagles, who we'll get to them in a second. It's possible that the Eagles, if they don't win the NFC East, they're out of the playoffs.
Well, let's look at the NFC. The Eagles are 8-4.
Okay.
The Cowboys are 6-5-1.
Okay.
If the Cowboys were 7-5, we might be having a different discussion, but they're not.
So the Cowboys, to me, now I have a pick. A couple weeks ago, we talked about. I looked up what number I could get on a parlay of Chargers missing the playoffs and Dallas making the playoffs, and it was 12-1, almost 13-1, which I do have a few pesos on, not as part of the contest picks, but Dallas all of a sudden their defense looks really good, or at least looks competent enough to back up that offense. That Dak Prescott, if if their defense had been playing like this, we'd be talking about Dak in the MVP race, I think, at this point, because he's been good. There's just no. I know look. I don't want to do it either. I don't want to say he's good either. But I think it's time to say that Dak Prescott has been one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the league this year.
All right. Well, let's not.
So you want to go on to the.
I want to. Let's talk about the NFC real quick.
Okay.
Chicago. If the playoffs started today, Chicago would be the 1 seed. The LA
That's
Rams
amazing.
would be the 2 seed. Philly would be the 3 seed. Tampa would be the 4th seed because they have won the South. Seattle, Green Bay, and the Niners.
Can you believe that we're talking about the Bears as the top seed at any point? If you had said at some point in this season we're going to be saying Bears are the number 1 seed as of today, what's
worse than I would say the only team that I can think of that I wouldn't have put as a number 1 seed more than the Bears is the Patriots.
Yeah.
And the Patriots
are the number 1
are
seed.
the number 1 seed.
Oh
Denver's
God.
2. Jacksonville currently is the 3rd seed because they're winning the AFC South.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore is the 4 seed, even though that division is really up for anybody. LA Chargers are 5, Indy is 6, and your Buffalo Bills are 7.
So one of these teams is not going to make the playoffs. Jacksonville, Baltimore, the Chargers, the Colts, the Bills, Houston, Pittsburgh, Kansas City.
I don't think
at least actually 3 of those teams probably have to miss the playoffs.
I think Kansas City has a decent chance of missing the playoffs.
I think Kansas City is. I think if I was going to put money on it today, I'd say Kansas City's going to miss the playoffs. I think Pittsburgh's probably going to fall off. They didn't look good against the Bills at all. I also think that Jacksonville is going to end up out of the playoffs. Indianapolis is having issues right now. They have a Daniel Jones problem, but I think Indianapolis will do enough to hold on to a wild card spot, and I think Jacksonville probably ends up out of the playoffs.
The math is tough on that, but Houston still has a chance to win the South.
Houston's only a game back now, and they have almost, I would say, clearly the best defense in the league. Would you say? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay,
with that, yeah.
okay. And they play this week on Thursday, so we're gonna. Oh no, they don't play on Thursday. They've got some games coming up. Well, they've got 2 games against Jacksonville or 2 games against Indianapolis, I believe. So the playoff races are getting tight, and these games on Thursday,
they all matter.
really, man, they all those Thanksgiving games had something. Had a lot to say about this, especially Kansas City and Dallas. Now I think we can say Dallas is, if they keep playing like this, they're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to be a nightmare to face in the first round and maybe in the second round.
I don't know if Dallas is going to make the playoffs. They can, but I don't know that they will.
I think they will.
I think it's Philly, Chicago, Green Bay, Tampa, LA, Seattle, San Francisco.
Well, you're going to have division winners. Division winners, let's say it holds as it is right now. Chicago, Rams, Philly, and Tampa will be your 4 division winners. Then you're saying your 3 wild cards are going to be Seattle, Green Bay, and San Francisco. Now, the way that those records are working, that means that one of those division winners has to fall off and kind of out of the playoffs. I think there's a chance that Philly could fall out of the playoffs. I think there's a chance that Tampa Bay could fall out of the playoffs.
So you think Philly's going to fall out of the playoffs because the Cowboys have won the NFC East?
I think it's possible. I really think it's possible.
I don't know.
Let's look. Dallas
Cowboy fans.
Man,
look. I know they have a lot of hope because Dak is playing well. I wouldn't say he's like a top 5 quarterback, but he's playing well. But I don't think the Cowboys. Have you seen anything from them defensively that tells you that they are going to be a playoff team? Because I haven't seen it yet. I've seen them be okay.
Well,
I've seen their offense do better than the other team's defense.
The last 2 weeks, they shut down Philadelphia for 3 quarters. They pretty much limited the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs had a chance at the end to come back and win, but it didn't ever really feel like they had a shot in that game. This is the last 5 games for Dallas now. At Detroit this Thursday.
Winnable.
Home for Minnesota.
Very winnable.
Home for Chargers.
Winnable.
At Washington.
They should be favored heavily.
At Giants.
Okay.
That's a 4-1 minimum. And if you put that with their current record.
So they'd be 10-6.
They would be 10-5-1.
10-5-1.
No, 10.
No, you're right. 10-5-1.
10-6-1. 10-6-1.
10-6-1. Okay.
Yeah.
That one may cost them.
That one might cost them. It really might. and then we can start having. Then I can start screaming about ties again at the end of the year. Look, I think and Philly. Philly is Philly's last 5 games. They're at the Chargers, home for Vegas, home for at Washington, at Buffalo, then home for Washington again. You could see 4-1 in there.
Yeah, I think they're going to be 12-5.
You also could see 2-3.
I don't know. I think Philly ends up 11-5, 11-6. That's going to be. I think their floor is 11-6.
Let's say
2 wins over Washington, at least, and Vegas.
Yeah, but did you see Washington against Denver last night? Washington's not giving up, man. Washington's not giving up.
Washington has Marcus Mariota at quarterback. Anyway, let's keep going back through the games.
Let's go back through the games. So I think we covered Kansas City and Dallas, right? I mean, that was a really good game. The second really good game of the day on Thanksgiving, and then we had the nightcap, which was let me pull it up.
The return of Joe Burrow.
The return of Joe Burrow.
Even though Jamar Chase did not catch a touchdown, they dominated the Ravens. I don't think that is so much a statement as to the Bengals' goodness, but as to the Ravens' badness.
The Ravens. So you're saying the Ravens?
I think the Ravens kind of suck.
You think the Ravens lost that game more than the Bengals won it?
Yes,
okay.
I think the Ravens just kind of suck. I mean, I think the Bengals were pumped up to have Joe Burrow back, but he played okay. It wasn't like it wasn't some classic performance.
Well, they didn't have him on a pitch count, that's for sure. He threw the ball like 47 times or something like that. We've been talking all year about how, when Flacco was in there, they went 1-4, but Flacco looked pretty good at times.
I thought Flacco did well.
Yeah, he did well. And we kept saying, it's not the offense. Maybe it wouldn't have been any different if Joe Burrow was in. But the quality of that team when Joe Burrow is leading the offense and leading the team and he's out there, it's just different. Even the defense plays different when Joe Burrow is involved. I don't know what it is. It's just he's a guy. He just comes in with a wheelbarrow in front of him, and he leads that team. And it just seems like they feel like a contender. They feel like a much better team with Joe Burrow just out there playing.
Just before we get into this, talk about how good the Bengals are with Joe Burrow, they had less than 400 yards of offense.
Okay.
And the Ravens ended up with a very bad Lamar Jackson performance, 17 of 32 for 246 and a pick. He got sacked 3 times. Derrick Henry has looked like Derrick Henry, 10 for 60. I mean, that's one of his best games of the year, but his long was 28. I think that's probably his longest carry of the year. So he had 9 for 32 outside of one play.
Yeah.
They had 123 yards rushing and 223 yards passing. So they weren't that different in yards gained.
The difference was the turnovers. They turned the ball over 5 times.
Yeah, they lost the ball 4 times.
4 times, 5 times? I thought it was 5. But it was anyway.
They lost 4 fumbles.
That's where I feel like that defense just feels. The defense just seems to feel like they just seem to feel better when Burrow's there, man.
The Ravens suck. Okay,
that's fine. I can get behind the Ravens suck. That's fine.
But that makes the AFC North interesting, though.
Yes.
Okay, I want to talk about that a little bit because I have a bet out there that's Chiefs to miss the playoffs, Bengals to win the AFC North. So all of a sudden,
I want to know when you put this. When did you put this?
Weeks ago. Weeks ago.
Okay.
So suddenly the Bengals, because I honestly think the Steelers kind of suck, and Aaron Rodgers is hurt. Baltimore has not been right for weeks. The Bengals play. Let's see, I'm trying to see the rest of their schedule here.
While you're looking at that, Rodgers looked terrible against the Bills. Terrible.
Yeah.
And that's not a defense that's easy to look terrible against.
The Bengals have to win out. Would we agree on that?
Yes. Yeah.
They
can do.
They have the Bills, which are kind of floundering. They have the Ravens again, the Dolphins, the Cardinals, and the Browns.
We'll talk about the Bills in a minute. That's like the game of the week.
They have a chance to win all 5 of those.
They do.
They won't be favored against the Bills, obviously, but I think they could win all 5 of those and somehow win the division at 9-8.
They've done it before. They did it last year. They got to 9-8.
This is the sickness.
This is yes. You said the greatest thing. You texted me the greatest thing on Sunday night after that, or on Thursday night after that Bengals game. You said the worst thing about being a Bengals fan is the hope.
That is exactly right.
You guys have this this
is the absolute truth.
This is the difference between this is like Bills fans and Bengals fans. This is why I feel like we're kind of kindred spirits, because you guys have like the slow, like you're just being tortured for 17 weeks. The Bills fans, we exist in front of we just are constantly standing in front of what's called the dick punch machine.
Well,
waiting for that thing to just come out and go bow and hit you right in the nuts.
You have not been in a Super Bowl since the 90s, right?
Right, that's right.
So the Bengals have been in a Super Bowl in this decade.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
3 years ago. Whatever it was.
3.
Feels like a million years ago now.
It does. It does. So when the Bengals won the AFC Championship, I took a picture of myself in front of the TV crying. I still have it.
I can't blame you. I can't say that I would react any differently.
But I knew then that we weren't going to beat the Rams.
Yeah.
So I think I just did that to myself mentally, that we're just not going to win the Super Bowl, and you can let yourself down now.
Yeah.
So I've kind of had to take that tack because the Bengals ownership is so bad that I think they would have to win in spite of the ownership, and that's really hard to do. It's really hard to do that.
Well, ownership's not coming down on the field and throwing passes and running and
no, but they are putting the players out there.
Well, that's fine. Here are the odds. I'm just going to read them to you. I just want to read them to you. To win the AFC North right now, Baltimore is still somehow the favorite at minus 195. Pittsburgh is plus 230. The Bengals are plus 850.
So 8.5 to 1.
I might
they have a chance.
A little bit of money on the Bengals.
If they can get past the Bills, they will be at least less than a field goal dog or a favorite in the rest of the games.
I would encourage for anybody out there who is who's interested to put money on Cowboys to make the playoffs and Bengals to win the AFC North. Oh, just taste it. Just put it in your on your bet slip.
A sprinkle.
And just see what $1 will pay you. I'm just telling you, it's there.
All right. Well, we're butchering this game recap.
That's okay. Let's go to Friday.
Bears,
These are
Eagles.
so good. We got to talk about these things. We got to ramble a little.
Bears over the Eagles.
Yeah.
I don't know how the Bears keep winning, but they do. I like it when the Bears are good. Like, if I could have memorabilia, I can't speak, memorabilia from the Decatur Staleys, I would have it up in here.
The Decatur Staleys. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, we need some Decatur Staleys up in here.
Do you know that's the origin of the Bears, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was just making sure.
Yeah.
They are 9-3. They are 5-2 on the road. They're only 1-2 in their division.
That's bizarre.
They have a plus 6 point differential on the season, which means they have outscored their opponents by 6 points.
I'm gonna say this. I no longer know what to do with the Bears. I don't know what to do with them From a gambling perspective, I don't know what to do with them. I mean, they're right now they're the number 1 seed in the NFC. I don't understand how that's possible. It's not going to be the case at the end of the year.
I don't think so either. I think they will. I think they will turn into a little bit of a pumpkin, but I do think they're going to get in the playoffs.
I think math is just going to get them into the playoffs at this point. But it feels a lot like that. Do you remember Dick Duran?
Yeah.
When he was the coach of the Bears, and they had that one season when they were like 14-3 or something. They were like a number 2 seed when the top 2 seeds in each, when we only had 6 playoff teams in each conference. They were like a 2 seed, and they got a bye week, and then they got absolutely spanked in their first game. That's what this team feels like. It feels like it's a team that, now I think Ben Johnson has them going in the right direction. I don't know what to make yet of Caleb Williams.
I think he's okay. Here's the rest of their schedule. They are at the Packers Sunday. That's the game of the week in my mind. Mm-hmm. Big time division, and it matters. They host the Browns. They host the Packers. They're at the 49ers, and they host the Lions. So they have 2 and 3 written all over that. So that puts them at 11 wins. That means they'll be 11 and 6.
It has to be enough to at least get.
I think 11 wins,
right?
Absolutely
that
is in the playoffs.
Okay.
So I think the Bears are definitely in the playoffs, and good for them. I like it when the Bears are good. It just happens so rarely.
It really does, doesn't it?
The Eagles are in trouble.
Yep.
But I think that math for them is going to win the day. I don't know if Dallas has enough. I don't think they do.
Well, they dug themselves a hole early. You know, to have 5 losses and a tie at this point in the season in the NFC.
I don't think beating the Chiefs is anything to write home about at this point.
Anytime you beat Patrick Mahomes, I think is something you can hang your hat on, especially when you make him look the way that he did, because Mahomes didn't look good. And Mahomes, we had this discussion earlier today over text when you were like, I think you actually said Drake May will be the best quarterback
in the league next year.
Now, I think it's a little early, but he's going to be in that discussion with Mahomes. And you said, well, I don't know if Mahomes is a top 5 quarterback.
I don't think he is a top 5. I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback right now.
Okay.
If Joe Burrow is healthy, I don't think he's top 5.
Okay. So you're going like Allen, Burrow,
Drake May.
You think Drake May is top 5 right now?
I think he's there.
You think he's above Patrick Mahomes right now?
Yes.
Okay. It's an interesting argument. It's going to make a great short on TikTok.
So the people have figured out Mahomes.
Okay.
Let's just say this, though. Let me back up. Mm-hmm. Mahomes right now doesn't have a top 20 receiver on his team.
I'd agree with that, yeah.
And Travis Kelce is 36.
Yeah.
And he's okay. He's still a top half of the league tight end. But he's 36 years old, man. The knees are starting to go.
He doesn't have the top end. He doesn't have the speed anymore. That's for sure. He doesn't separate.
And what has happened with Mahomes is teams have figured out that if you don't let him dance around, he's still going to do some of it. But if you spy him and you keep him inside the pocket and don't let him make crazy plays with his legs, he's a lot easier to beat.
It's interesting because that's kind of the way that you have to play Josh Allen, except that what the Bills have done with Josh Allen at times is they've run a lot more design bootlegs to get him out of the pocket immediately and let him create plays like that. They haven't done that with Mahomes for whatever reason.
I don't think he has that capability. I mean, Josh Allen's a freak.
Well, Josh Allen he's definitely on another tier athletically from Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, he's 25 pounds heavier
and an inch and a half taller. It's just
a better arm.
Well, I think arm talent wise,
faster.
Arm talent wise, I think you're gonna give the accuracy edge to Mahomes and just the different arm angles that he can throw from. He's got a little bit on Josh Allen from that, but he's got to get out of the pocket to create those plays and create those weird throwing lanes. And he's not been able to do that. The offensive line for the Chiefs isn't all that great. They haven't had a running game in a couple of years now. They don't have any decent receivers. I mean, it's the same thing that Josh Allen is kind of dealing with, except that Allen's got a good running game, which they showed. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Kareem Hunt feels like very 2020.
Yeah. That's a great fantasy player from the COVID era.
49ers.
I want to say one more thing before we move on from Bears and Philadelphia. I was watching this Bears and Eagles game, and I hear these Philadelphia fans booing their team. Now, Philadelphia, listen.
Notoriously asshole fans.
We've had enough from that's enough from you, okay? You just won the fucking Super Bowl, guys. You don't get to boo your team at home this year. I don't care what they're doing. You don't get to boo your team. You just held up the trophy like 10 months ago. Settle down. I understand that this offense is frustrating to watch. It was frustrating to watch last year. You've been to the Super Bowl 3 times in the last decade. You've won 2 Super Bowls. Stop it. Stop it with booing this team. We're 13 games into the season.
Yes.
Knock it off.
I
would be.
I can get on board with that.
I would be incensed if I was a Philadelphia player at those fans. I would be cussing them up one side and down.
They
the
think
other.
they're entitled to be dicks.
I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. Stop
All
booing
right,
your
sorry.
guys.
Moving on.
Move on.
49ers select the Browns. Again, this is another one of those teams. I don't know what to do with the Niners. They pretend they're good. I don't think they're actually good. Maybe they are.
They're fine. Are they going to be in the Super Bowl? Probably not.
They're 9-4.
Yeah, I mean, they could be I guess you could call them a dark horse Super Bowl contender.
They're 6-2 on the road.
Yeah, yeah. And Purdy is back now. Purdy's getting better.
He's pretty good.
Oof. But it's also hard to tell what do you learn from beating the shit out of the Browns? I don't know that you learn anything.
To do it at the Browns,
Yeah.
is something, I guess, but it ain't that much.
Yeah. I mean, Purdy threw for 168 yards. Fine. He did what he had to do.
Yeah.
26-8. Fine. Take it and move on. Jacksonville and Tennessee, that's kind of the same thing. I don't know what you learn about your team by beating up on the Titans.
Are the Titans the worst team in the NFL?
Yes. Yes, I think so.
Trevor Lawrence continues to be madly mediocre. 16 of 27, 229 yards, 2 TDs. He's notorious for throwing the ball to the other team, which he did not do against Tennessee, but I'm with you. I don't know what you learned. Travis Etienne had a terrible day, 12 carries, 28 yards.
Yeah.
But, it's those kinds of games where you're just like, you take the win, you go home.
Yeah. Nothing you can really learn from that other than I don't think Jacksonville, I don't know. I could see Jacksonville right now is leading the AFC South because they beat because of in these 2 losses in a row.
Because the next game we're going to talk about, Houston goes to Indy and comes out 2016 winners.
That was a weird. So I watched a lot of this game. That defense is still sick for Houston.
They are very good.
The Colts have a real bad Daniel Jones problem, and it came out this week that he's got some kind of a fracture in his leg that's probably limiting. I mean, to me, it looked like he was playing on one leg. He doesn't look like he doesn't want to run because he can't.
He has to be able. So that's not necessarily a Daniel Jones sucks problem. It's a Daniel Jones has to be able to move around in order to do the things that he needs to do to be successful.
Exactly. He's always kind of been looked at as like a poor man's Josh Allen, a poor man's Mahomes, where he's got to be out there running around
a little bit
and getting different angles and creating a play. And if he can't do that, he's going to be in trouble. Although it might be one of those, I don't know how much you learn about how good or bad Daniel Jones is facing that Houston defense, because that Houston defense is far and away the best defensive unit in the league.
Jones went 14 of 27 for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, but that's a pretty ineffective day to go 14 of 27.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor had 21 for 85, no TDs,
Yeah.
long of 12, which is, not great.
He didn't look great. He was laboring for every yard that he got against that.
The
defense.
Texans win the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
That's what they do the best.
Yep. And they win it with their front 4, which is even more important because they can just run. They did this against the Bills. They dominated the Bills' offensive line with a 4-man front the week before, and we're getting ready to find out. They play Kansas City this week. They've gone. If they go into Kansas City and they win that game, man, they've gone through a 3-game gauntlet. If they come out clean on the other side of that, they're going to be a nightmare to play in the playoffs if they can make it.
All right. We are going to skip over the 1-800-GAMBLER game of the week. The Dolphins over the Saints. I could not give two shits about it.
We didn't go through all these games last week, so we didn't get to officially put the 1-800-GAMBLER moniker on this one, but it would have had it.
Yeah,
easily.
It was easily the 1-800-GAMBLER game of the week.
I didn't watch this game. I didn't want to watch any of this game. Apparently, Tyler Shuck was fine, but let's just move on. Neither of those teams are very interesting moving forward.
I think the Jets winning over the Falcons is interesting only because there's no quit in the Jets. There just isn't.
Yeah. You know who there's a lot of quit in? Is the Atlanta Falcons.
Yes. Yes, there is.
They have decided that they are probably done. Now Penix is out for the year.
Kirk Cousins he has a 32.2 quarterback rating out of this game. 21 of 33 for 234 yards and a touchdown. He was sacked twice. Bijan Robinson is the best fantasy player in the league. Would you say that?
Is he really? I haven't looked at this. I haven't been as invested in fantasy this year.
It's hard to say he's the best player in the league or the best offensive player in the league. I don't think that's true. But
he's not. He's not any of those.
He's been killing it.
Well, he's mired on this team with an offense that otherwise kind of stinks, and a defense that gave up 27 points to the Jets. Although
Tyrod
Taylor, talk about a career that cool have gone so much differently. It's Tyrod Taylor. Sometimes you look up and you go, why has he not been a quarterback on like a perennial playoff team for his entire career? He's played for like 6 teams.
Yep.
He got stabbed in the lung by a doctor and for the Chargers that led to Justin Herbert taking over, and there's just so many things that could have gone differently for old Tyrod. But anyway, the Jets, as I said last week, they are not giving up.
No, they're not.
They had a chance. They pretty much, with that win over Atlanta, screwed any possibility that they had of getting the number 1 pick in the draft, because now they got 3 wins. And there are like 4 teams ahead of them at 1 or 2 wins that are probably going to take it. So good on you, Jets. You trade away all your defensive players, and then you still don't get the first pick in the draft. That's about the Jetsiest thing you can do.
It was very Jets.
Yeah.
The Rams, this was the episode of the week in my mind. The Rams go to Carolina and come away 31-28 losers. And I list the Rams first because they were 9-2 going into this. Carolina is been very game, kind of hanging around all season, and now they have a winning record. They're 7-6.
It's amazing. Carolina, and
with the Bucs in as much trouble as they're in.
Well, we skipped over that Bucs and Arizona game. Arizona at Tampa Bay. Bucs just kind of did what they had to do to win.
We'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that. But Carolina, okay. What do you think the chances are that Carolina actually pulls out that division?
It's very possible.
Okay.
Tampa has some serious issues.
I don't know what to do. Carolina is like a bizarro version of the Bears in a way. I think their coach, honestly, their coach should be a candidate for Coach of the Year. You get that out of that team. You get that out of Bryce Young. I don't know, man. That's a hell of a coaching job that dude's doing there.
I would agree with you, but here's what happens with the NFC South from here on out. The Bucs host the Saints. They will be probably a 9 or 10 point favorite this week. Then they host the Falcons. Right now, Tampa's an 8.5 point favorite over the Saints. They host the Falcons. They'll be a 6 point favorite in that one. Then they're at Carolina, at the Dolphins, and then host Carolina. So
Ooh, 2 games against Carolina.
the Panthers have 2 games against the Bucks.
Those are the biggest games left on the schedule for either of those teams.
Yes, by far.
Okay.
We're getting down to the
It's gonna be
nitty-gritty here.
interesting.
Yeah. The next game I have is the Bucks over the Cardinals. I did not see much of that one.
I'll say this: Jacoby Brissett. Man, the Patriots must have had one of the worst offensive lines of all time last year, because Jacoby Brissett can play some football. You know, when he's put in the right spot, he's a decent quarterback.
Is Kyler Murray done there?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of turnover on that team, coaching staff on down this year. It's just not working, and they're in one of those situations where they're like, they're in that 6-11, 7-10 area where it's hard to get out of that when you're just picking in the middle of the first round every year. You've got a bunch of money tied up in a quarterback who keeps getting hurt. When he's not hurt, he doesn't look like he's ever going to get there. I think Kyler's probably. This is probably all the last we see of Kyler in Arizona. I think there's going to be big changes there going forward.
All right, moving on. Seattle shellacks Minnesota. Minnesota came into the season with some hopes, I think. I know that you don't like me because you told me last week that I should subject myself to 3 hours of J.J. McCarthy football. And then we get to the chance for me to watch J.J. McCarthy ply his trade in Minnesota, and he gets benched for some guy named Max Brosmer.
So did you hear what happened with this? He apparently last week on the plane ride after the game, McCarthy went up and self-reported concussion symptoms. That's why he was out this week. So he went into the concussion protocol. So he self-reported that he had a concussion.
Oh, Lord.
Which, in this era of like being careful with concussions and brain injuries,
I don't mind that at all.
But it's a weird thing for a football player to do. Would you agree with that? It's a little weird.
I think it's a weird thing for Josh Allen to do. I don't know that it's a weird thing for J.J. McCarthy to do.
Okay, but what does that say about J.J. McCarthy is my question.
It says
and I don't want to say that it's...
It says that there's 8 years difference between them, and you don't think that's a lot, but lots of things have changed in the last 8 years.
This is not to say, look, any young football players out there...
more like 7 or 6 years, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think there is a new generation of football player that is wearing that puffy helmet. Mm-hmm. They're wearing the extra layer on the helmet. We've seen too many players in the last 5 or 10 years that kill themselves because they have CTE and they're depressed and they just can't deal because they spent their professional lives getting their heads knocked in. So I'm not going to try to take
that. All being said,
I'm not going to try to take anything away from J.J. McCarthy. But I will say, I know where you're going.
Yeah.
And I can see where you're going. And I might tend to agree with you that he's having one of the worst seasons in NFL history.
Yes.
And he did not want to play.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
And it's a concern. And just for any of the young football players out there listening to this, I'm not saying don't report your injuries.
Take care of yourselves.
I'm not saying I'm not saying it's a weakness or anything like that to say, look, Coach, I think my bell is rung. That's probably the best thing to do. But it's weird. It's weird for a professional football player to do this.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I was watching the Monday night game last night, and there was that hit where both guys kind of lowered their heads, and the guy, I can't remember who it was, got hit hard, fell down. You knew it was a bad hit, but his teammate came over and picked him up. And I was like, oh, he's okay. And then he was like, falling all over the place. Yeah. I'm just like, oh.
Did a little Texas two-step. He went down to the ground.
He got his head knocked in.
Yeah, yeah. You see it every week.
Those are hard to watch.
Yeah, it is. You see it every week. It's happening to somebody. Somebody goes down. They do the thing. They put their hands up to their head, and then they pop right back up because they're like, no, I'm not going to that fucking blue tent. Like, I'm out. I'm still out here. And it's probably the worst decision that you can make in that situation.
It's not good.
But it's what makes me question, I hate even saying it.
I know.
It's just weird, man. It's weird. It's weird.
You're like, this does not pass the smell
No,
test.
it does not.
And I'm okay with saying that it doesn't pass the smell
There's
test.
a lot of things about J.J. McCarthy that don't pass. Is J.J. McCarthy the starter for the Vikings week 1 in 2026?
I've already told you, yes.
Yes, he is? Okay.
Yes, he is.
Interesting.
He
All right.
gets every opportunity.
Okay.
You know why teams that have their quarterbacks on second contracts tend to struggle? The Chiefs are the exception to the rule.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a quarterback that you want to have on a second contract, that means they're really good.
Yeah.
And having that guy on that first contract is such a bonus because you can pay the rest of your team. So if you get a guy that's, becomes a really good player in his first 3 years, Drake May is an example. Mm-hmm. You can pay the rest of your team while you still have control of that guy under his first contract.
I just would have a lot of concerns because it's not like they don't have weapons around McCarthy. It's not like they have a bad offensive line around McCarthy. They've got one of the 2 or 3 best receivers in the league, and then they've also got Jordan Addison, who's just been a ghost this year because nobody can get him the ball. Then you throw Max Brosmer out there, who was, by the way, was an undrafted free agent rookie this year.
Oh.
So
and he threw 4 picks.
Yeah, he threw
so he
4
looked
picks.
just like J.J. McCarthy.
We'll move on from Minnesota for a second. Seattle was back to looking good. 26-0. Man, did the Seattle defense lift many fantasy teams this week?
Yeah, they did. Seattle's got some issues though. They're 9-3 right now, and they're in the toughest division in football, the NFC West.
Yeah,
they're at the Falcons. I don't think they're going to lose that game, but going all the way across the country, blah blah blah. Then they host the Colts. They host the Rams. They're at the Panthers, and they're at the Niners.
Ooh.
That is a
rough slate.
They're 8-4, 9-3, 7-6, and 9-4. Those are the records they play after they go to the Falcons.
That's a rough run.
It's really rough.
I'll say this too. I know you laugh every time I bring up Sam Darnold.
Here it comes, Sam Darnold,
and it's against Minnesota. The offense didn't have to do much, but Darnold didn't look very good. He just didn't look very good.
There's a rumor out of Seattle, that Darnold was seen at this men's formal wear shop trying on a pumpkin hat.
Wait.
So in case he turns into a pumpkin in these last 5 games when he's got 4 really good teams, so Andrew can be right.
Where did you hear this rumor? Was this on Truth Social?
Yeah, right. Truth Social
or Blue Sky or something like that. Okay. Let's go to Buffalo, Pittsburgh. Buffalo went on the road to Pittsburgh and handled them pretty well.
Man, the Steelers suck.
The Steelers stink. They really do stink.
Aaron Rodgers is washed.
He's
hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt.
But he was washed before he was hurt.
He was washed before he was hurt, and then he became more washed. He didn't look good at all in this game. He's not really. Aaron Rodgers hasn't looked great.
No,
he hasn't been this season.
He hasn't been an MVP candidate in years.
No.
But the last 4 years. Here's the difference between him and Tom Brady. Tom Brady, when he retired, nobody was saying, God, man, I'm so glad that guy is going to be gone because he stunk up the field.
Everybody was kind of wondering, is Tom Brady going to play until he's 50?
Tom Brady could have come back that next year and played, and I think he would have been fine.
Yeah.
He walked away under his own power. I think Aaron Rodgers is not under his own. I'm not saying he's physically not under his own power, but metaphorically, I think he's not on all legs.
The way he got pushed around against Buffalo, he's going to leave on a stretcher. The other thing I will say about this is this was another slow start by the Bills. Another slow start by the Bills where Josh threw a pick in the red zone on their first drive. He only threw for 123 yards. Now, they ran for a record number of yards, a record total yards against for any team that had gone to Pittsburgh. Like that was a record for Pittsburgh.
So that should tell you what you need to know about
Right,
Pittsburgh.
right.
I don't think, man, the AFC North stinks.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. So I don't know. I mean, Buffalo, they're up and down. They start slow. It seems like every game. It took them a while to pull away, but they did what they planned to do, which was just wear down Pittsburgh and get after Aaron Rodgers, and that's what they did. Their defense keeps playing above their heads. So I don't know. We'll see. They've got a tough stretch coming up too. It's gonna be tough. If you told me that 5 weeks from now Buffalo will miss the playoffs, I'd be surprised, but I wouldn't be shocked. They're really, I don't know what's wrong with that team, but something is off. Chargers beat Las Vegas 31-14.
I don't care too much about it.
I don't either. I continue to feel really bad for Geno Smith.
Same, and Justin Herbert is hurt. Just had surgery.
Yep. Apparently not going to affect him that much. It's in his left hand, not his throwing hand.
I still think that matters.
It still does matter. Well, I mean, look, it mattered with Rodgers. Rodgers has a fracture in his wrist.
That's the only thing that gives me pause about the Chiefs missing the playoffs is I think the Chargers might be in some trouble.
Yeah, but I think the Chargers and the Chiefs, I don't think it's going to be the Chargers make it because the Chiefs didn't. I think the Chargers and Chiefs miss the playoffs because you've got Buffalo and New England. You've got, possibly you could see a situation where
Jacksonville and Indy.
You could have three teams come out of the AFC. You could have three teams come out of the AFC South.
Man, we dogged the AFC South in our first podcast.
We did. It was short-sighted on our part.
You never know.
Yeah.
The Broncos Commanders game was a thriller. It killed one of my parlays because I had the Broncos a -6.5, and they ended up winning by 1 in overtime.
In a game that, all right, I made this note while I was watching this game. Denver's got probably the second best defense in the league. Would you agree with that?
They're very good.
Okay. What I saw against a Washington team led by a Washington offense led by Marcus Mariota, their defense seems to come out really fast. They come out and they play fast and they play super hard early in the game. And what happens is they seem to wear themselves out by the end of the game. They went into overtime, and if the Broncos defense had to go out on the field first, you would have seen guys just falling down. They were wiped out by the end of that game, and it just feels like they play. I mean, this is part of the Denver defense is they play aggressively, they play fast, but they seem to do it a lot really early. And by the third quarter, fourth quarter, if it's still a close game, and they're having to fight to keep the team in it, they seem to get a little bit careless at the end.
I thought it was a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting that to be a good game. I ended up I missed the overtime. I was watching the game, really interested in it because I've got this parlay going on, and then all the things happened that I knew was not going to end up with my parlay win. So then I fell asleep. But I was enjoying the game. Marcus Mariota, I just want to touch on this. He's had a really interesting career.
Ooh, yeah.
He averages 63% completion rate, which in the modern times is on the low end, would you say?
For the way quarterbacks are expected to play now, yes.
But he has 106 touchdowns versus 61 interceptions for his career. Mm-hmm. And he has an 89.9 rating, which is not QBR. I don't know what his cumulative QBR is, but I've seen him play 3 or 4 times this year. Mm-hmm. He is like the poorest of poor man Josh Allen.
Yeah. If it's okay, everything physically is there.
6'4", 222 pounds.
He can make every throw on the field. But the perfect example of what happens, what Marcus Mariota's downfall is that pick that he threw in the first half. I think it was even in the first quarter. He's scrambling around behind the line, and he throws a no-look pass to a guy that's triple covered in the red zone.
Yes.
And it's a horrendous pick. Chris Collinsworth was beside himself watching that. He was like, I don't even know. He's like, Mike, you just can't make that throw. You just can't make that throw, Mike. And he does these things. It's up here for Mariota. There's something about processing the game that he doesn't do as well as the other quarterbacks that are on the next tier up. And that's why he's a backup quarterback.
I would agree with you. Absolutely. He's like watching my uncle bale hay. He's a gaff machine. My uncle would take this hay hook and he would stab the hay, and he was like 6'1" or 2" and about 165 and just all muscle and sinew.
All the tools. He's got all the tools.
The tools, but he would stab the hay with that gaff because he's a gaff machine, and Marcus Mariota is a gaff machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
He every game finds some way to make you go, "What the fuck did I just watch?"
Yeah.
That's what Marcus Mariota's problem is.
Does your uncle occasionally take that bale of hay and throw it 4 yards over the trailer?
That would be the example, but he is deceased.
Okay.
But yes,
that's a fun example. Yeah.
Pat's pretty much dog stomped the Giants 33-15 on the Monday night. That was last night as we record on Tuesday.
I'm terrified of Drake May now. I'm just scared to death. We had to deal with, as a Bills fan, even the Bengals, we all had to deal with 20 years of the Patriots just curb stomping all of us to death.
Yes, very much.
And you would think after that we'd get a reprieve for, I don't know, 10 years maybe. I mean, it's so hard to find a franchise quarterback that for them to just basically take 4 years off and then all of a sudden they've fallen into Drake May. And now I'm like, man, I was really looking forward to 10 years of dominance.
Some period of time.
Yeah, I was looking forward to maybe can we get 10 years, maybe 12 years of Josh Allen Bills dominance in the AFC East?
No. You got
no
one.
Thanks. We got
6'4". No, you got more than one. You got Tom Brady going to Tampa.
Yeah, we got 4 years of it.
6'4", 225 is Drake May.
Mm-hmm.
He has 3,400 yards passing. Guess where that ranks in the National Football League?
Is it first?
It is first.
Fuck.
23 touchdowns, which is fourth.
Mm-hmm.
6 picks. An overall QBR of 72.8, which is fourth.
Oh, God.
He is a top 5 quarterback by rating this year.
I hate it so much. It's just so disappointing. And I like Drake May. Don't get me wrong. That guy he's going to be fun to watch.
He seems like quality. When half the league, or sometimes even 2/3 of the league, wishes they had a quarterback from another team.
Yeah.
When you get one of these guys, like Justin Herbert is probably one of the more recent ones that just kind of ascended.
Yeah.
I think Drake May, I swear to you, I think Drake May will be a top 2 or 3 quarterback next year.
I'm not going to argue against that. I think you're right. And I'll tell you another thing. I think Jackson Dart is going to be.
You think he's?
I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be good. He's got some it factor about him. He's just got that swagger that I feel like you kind of have to have if you're going to be a quarterback of a New York football team. Whether it means that he's good, whether it means that he's going to actually lead the Giants someplace competitive, I don't know. A lot of it is going to depend on who their next coach is. But as far as the leadership and the tools, I think he'll be there in a couple of years. So
the one bet that I hit on the weekend was last night, and it was a good one. I had the New England Patriots -7.5 over 46.5. Drake May 200 yards and Drake May one passing touchdown. That got me to plus 305.
Nicely done.
Thank
Not
you.
part of the official contest picks, unfortunately, because you did get blanked on those.
The Denver Broncos dick punch, I had them -6.5.
Yeah.
I had the Ravens winning. Didn't even believe in my own Bengals. I had the Eagles winning. Because why wouldn't you pick the Eagles over the Bears? Bears visiting and Bears +6 on the season. The worst pick of the week was a 3-leg parlay, but we will get to that. We need to take a break.
Take a break. Let's take a break and then we'll recap our picks.
All right.
Let's see. Yeah, because we went in wildly different directions this week, Lanny. Wildly different.
The contest is over.
It's getting close.
No, it's over.
I'm leading by 35 in the fourth.
I am the Cardinals, and you are the who's winning their division by a lot?
The Rams.
No, they're not even winning by a lot. I'm the Cardinals, and you're like the Patriots.
Oh God, call me the Patriots. How dare you? Okay, let's recap our picks. I should mention that this is we're actually recording on Tuesday. It's my birthday today, and I feel like my early birthday gift was my success with these picks this week.
You killed it. You had everything but one game, right?
I had all my picks. I had 5 parlays, and all of them hit except for one, and that was because it relied on Denver -6.5 on Sunday night.
All right,
and
that's a good week. Happy birthday!
Good week. Thank you very much. I feel every year of my age every morning right now. You did not do quite as well.
That's been the story of the entire season.
Yeah, you. Now we had the bonus 50. What we called the bonus 50 Thanksgiving picks last week.
We did the bonus.
We did. We both did, and that's where we each got an extra 50 pesos just to put on anything. If we lost,
we did it on only the 3 Thanksgiving games.
Only the 3 Thanksgiving games. For that one, I had the Green Bay Detroit over 49.5, Dallas money line, and Cincinnati +7. That got me to +847, which paid 473.5 pesos.
Damn.
Your bonus 50 was Dallas alt line of +6.5. That hit. Green Bay alt +5.5. That hit. Which you didn't even need the plus on that one. You didn't need the alt +9.5 on Cincinnati either, because that hit and Cincinnati won outright. But what happened here was you felt compelled.
Oh, here we go.
You felt compelled to throw in a player prop, and it was a Jamar Chase touchdown,
which we
didn't
never
happen.
do. We don't do player props. No. Although I did player prop last night and won, but I felt like that was pretty safe. But Jamar Chase, I thought with Joe Burrow coming back, it was going to be a good night for Jamar Chase. It was not.
So I'm not going to scold you because you're a grown ass man, and you're. I think you're above. I think you're a little bit too old to be scolded for this kind of shit. But what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
We've been warning people against player props all year.
I don't know. It got weird.
And that's okay though, because honestly,
I was trying to get value out of it.
Well, look, the it got you to +501, so I can't really argue with the strategy. I can't argue with the underlying thought. You got 50 free pesos here, so it would have paid off pretty nicely.
Recap the rest.
Recap the rest. Okay, you try to hit another 5-teamer. You've been running these 5-teamers
hot. Except Baltimore shit the bed.
Well, you had Seattle, the Chargers, and Denver. They all won, but then you also had Baltimore and Philly, and they did not. That only got you to +193, but you didn't hit that one. And then you had the car wreck.
All losers
spinning out, much like my minivan did on the way back from Michigan on Sunday afternoon. You just spun out of control.
Baltimore, Philly, and Indy
into the median. Baltimore, Philly, and Indianapolis. Whew.
Loser.
Ooh. And then you had Chargers -9.5. That hit.
Ding.
Buffalo -4.5. That
Ding.
hit. And then that goddamn Denver -6.5
overtime, which
was one of those. And let me go back to mine here because I want to talk about that. That was one of those. It was a bad beat for the second week in a row. It was a bad beat. So I had my other picks were Green Bay, who somehow was, I still don't understand how they were considered an underdog at Detroit, but they were at plus 124, and I had the Jets at plus 124 because I was pretty confident in the Jets at home in the cold over the Falcons, and
Turned out that was right.
turns out that was right. So that got me plus 401. I had 20 on it. It paid 100.2 pesos. I had Chicago with an alt line of plus 10.5, which I didn't need because they won outright. I had Arizona at an alt line of plus 6.5, which got me right in the sweet spot. And I had Houston with an alt line of plus 7.5, which I also did not need. But it got me plus 224, and I had 30 pesos on that, so it paid out 97.2 pesos. I also had an individual bet on Houston at just regular money line plus 180. I put 20 pesos on that, and that hit, so that paid 56.
That is a big week. Seriously, it's a great week.
It's a good. It was the we talked last week about the week about when you're playing golf and you got that one shot that keeps you coming back. This is the week that's going to keep me gambling until like the early 2030s.
So when we go through the games, I'm going to introduce a new strategy this week. And I don't know why it's taken me all season to see it, but it's been there the whole time. I just haven't noticed it.
Okay.
The dogs are barking. They're winning.
That's right.
And especially when you can get Green Bay with points.
Yeah.
Those are things that are going to show up in my picks this week.
You kind of have to sniff those out. This is the time of year when teams get desperate and lines get weird. Like I just don't understand why on earth was, Houston was an underdog in their game at Indianapolis. They won. I don't understand that. Chicago was reasonably, I would say, an underdog, but they were at home they were at Philadelphia. So, I get it because I think it's hard to trust the Bears still. But that's, sometimes you also have to trust what's actually happening on the field, and that's Chicago keeps winning.
They do keep winning.
So those were our picks. We had that Denver game. I told you at the end of that game because you were like the minus 6.5 is shot at this point because at some point the math got weird, and I was like, no, what we need to happen is they go to overtime. Like Washington kicks a field goal, they go to overtime, and then Denver takes the ball and scores first. And you were like, well, no, because they don't kick extra points.
No,
But they do kick extra points if you score first.
Right, if they score touchdown first.
Which Denver did. And then there were like...
Well, that rule is new either this year or last year.
It's either this year or last year. But
because it used to be in overtime when they changed it that both teams get a possession unless the first team gets a touchdown.
Right.
Then it's over.
Right. And
sudden
now it's
death
different.
was only a...
Yeah, now it's both teams get a possession no matter what.
They have done some rule changes the last 10 years that really improved the game. The 2-point conversion was a great addition. The overtime where it's not sudden death, a great addition.
Excellent addition. Yeah, especially the way offenses have evolved and the rules have evolved.
Well, right. I mean, can you imagine the number of 50 and 60-yard field goals that would have won games this year?
Oh my God. Well, because you got Dallas can kick a field goal. They don't even have to cross midfield now.
Because under the old rules, you kick it, it's a touchback, you come out to the 25. All you've got to do is go basically 35 yards, and you're in field goal range.
Right, because modern kickers are booting the ball. And I don't know if it's changes to the ball or what, but they're kicking 60-yard field goals pretty regularly.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. And, we talked a few weeks ago about my issue with ties and how we've got this 10-minute overtime period and it's too easy to have a tie. But I'll tell you this, if that overtime between Denver and Washington had gone 15 minutes, like somebody was just going to pass out on the field.
Yeah, it's
Denver's
too much.
defense was, if they had to go back, like, because what happened was Washington then had the incentive with like 247 left when they scored their touchdown to potentially tie. They just went for two because they were like, if we give this ball back to Denver, we don't know what's going to happen. They're just going to kick a field goal and beat us. So they went for two to win, and they didn't win. They didn't get the 2-point conversion.
Plus, you're looking at a time factor.
Yeah, you're looking at 2 minutes, and you still have to stop Denver from getting into field goal range.
I
so
much prefer the pro rules over the college overtime
yes,
rules.
100%. Yeah, the college is crazy.
Let's look at the games this week.
Okay.
Actually, some really important games. The 1-800-GAMBLER game of the week is so obvious you will know it immediately.
It sure is.
And
You want to just start at the top?
There's a runner-up of the 1-800.
There are a few. There were when I was looking at it today. There are a few candidates for
Huge.
1-800-GAMBLER game.
Huge game right on Thursday night. The Dallas Cowboys getting 3 at Detroit. Detroit's in trouble. Dallas is on the rise. I really like the Cowboys in this.
They are going to be in my picks. I'm telling you right now.
And the over 54.5.
The over is
it's a lot.
The over could be 70, and I'm probably still taking.
I think I'm on the over on that.
The Cowboys getting 3. Man, I like that. Although I tell you what, the money line there, the Cowboys are plus 132. You actually would get better value on that if you think the Cowboys have a chance to actually win this game, which I do. I think they clearly have a chance to win. You're going to take the plus 132 instead of the plus
132.
Yeah.
Or you take an alt line plus 6, and
and
I think
that might be
in my picks.
Too. Yeah.
Next up, the Miami Jets, the Miami Dolphins at the New York Jets is the 1-800-GAMBLER game of the week. If you want to get some money on the Jets, they're getting points at home.
You have this one instead of Titans-Browns. Tell me why for the 1-800-GAMBLER game.
Because that's a good point. I think the Browns are going to beat the Titans.
I'm not saying that I disagree with you, because I think the Browns are bettable in that game.
I really just don't trust the Dolphins at all.
Okay, and that's why I just wanted to bring it up. I just wanted to.
I just don't trust the Dolphins at all.
I just wanted to poke at it a little bit because, there's no telling what's going to happen. It's in New York. There's no telling what the weather's going to be like, which means there's no telling which Tua is going to show up.
I think you should get money on the Jets 3 weeks in a row and put it in your contest pick.
Jets are plus 124 at home, a home dog.
I think there might,
So you're gonna put this.
I do think this is the 1-800-GAMBLER game of the week, but I also think that getting money on the Jets in this plus 5 or 6,
it might happen.
I'd be okay with that.
It might happen. Okay.
I see value.
Well, let's go ahead to talk about Titans and Browns then. And the reason I think that this is probably not what? Go ahead.
I think these are the two of the worst teams in football, but I think the Titans are clearly worse.
Titans are definitely worse. The defense, the Browns' defense is the best.
The over-under is 33.5.
That's great.
If Cleveland gets any shitty weather this week, this could be a really fun watch.
And we're here in Kentucky. We just had a snowstorm. What we call a snowstorm in Kentucky come through and drop
3 inches of.
Oh, it dropped almost 2 inches of snow on us overnight. It was crazy.
3 inches of wet snow.
You can barely see the grass through the snow. It's hell. But yeah, I mean, I have a sick fascination with watching Shedeur Sanders at this point.
I think the Titans are so bad, but
yeah.
I mean, if this game is in your 4-box just for the sheer entertainment factor, I can get behind that.
Well, yeah, I can too. And there's 8 1:00 games this week, by the way. It's going to make it tough. It's going to make the 4-box tough. I might have to just put 2 iPads up.
Oh, okay.
So let's go. I don't know. I think the Titans are plus 3.5. I don't even know that number is high enough.
I don't know if I could get money on the Titans. And I don't think there's any amount of money.
No, I don't think so either.
Back up to the top. The Seattle Seahawks, it's a battle of the birds, are at the Atlanta Falcons. Seahawks are giving 7.5.
Is that too much for a West Coast team coming east to play 1:00?
Too much for a home NFL team to be given up.
Okay, I agree.
I don't know that I can get money on the Falcons, though.
I don't either. I don't like this game.
12? Would you put money on them at 12 points?
At plus 12?
Yeah.
On Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah. At plus 12, I would.
That's the only way I would do it.
I don't like these. It's hard to predict what a West Coast team coming east is going to do. Look at what happened with the Rams.
6-2 on the road. Though.
Rams. Well, that's true, but the Rams that came east and played in Carolina and lost.
Yeah.
At 1 o'clock.
I know what you're saying.
It's a factor. I'd like people can say it's not a factor. These are professional football teams. Blah blah blah. Whatever. This is a weird spot for Seattle. You still got the Sam Darnold factor. What is he going to look like in this game? I don't know. This is a stay away from me. I'm not going to have it in my picks.
No, I'm not. I'm not picking this. That's too many points to give.
Yeah.
Coming all the way across the country.
Yeah.
If I could run it down to like 3.5, maybe 3.
So you would take Seattle at minus 3.5.
-3.
Okay, -3. Okay,
And hope for a push.
Hope for a push. Yep. Okay.
Although I don't know if you can get an even number now.
If you get it down, you can get well, maybe you can't.
I think they're
I
all
don't know.
half
I don't know why
points.
you would. I mean, if you're going to do that, you might as well go to 2.5.
2.5.
You know,
Maybe it's 2.5.
yeah. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like that game. Are we ready to go to Bengals Bills, or do we need to save that?
No, we're next up is the Saints at the Bucks.
Saints at the Bucks. Okay, you got these all in a different order than I've got. Are you
Yeah.
on FanDuel?
Yeah,
Okay, mine are just in a different order. Okay, go by your list. Saints at Bucks.
8.5.
Too much.
I think it is too.
Too much for I'll take the Saints at plus 8.5 there. Honestly,
You say no. Why?
you wouldn't take the points.
I just would stay away,
Okay,
or I'll put the Bucks in a parlay.
okay. I think Baker's looked shaky. I think
I think the Bucks are
I think there's
shaky right
something
now,
wrong.
but
Bucks are shaky.
this is a week to get right.
Okay.
Tell me
Okay.
who the quarterback is for the Saints again.
Tyler Shuck.
Are you sure that's his name?
It's not, is it?
I don't think.
What's
it
his
is.
name? I know his last name is Shuck.
I thought it was Tanner.
Tanner. We're professionals here. This is.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
My point is this: like, I don't even know who's on the. I know the Saints are. Alvin Kamara has been injured.
I didn't even know he was still alive. Alvin Kamara is like. We keep talking about Alvin
2018.
Kamara as though it's 2019, and
Yeah.
it's not. It's not. He's Tyler Shuck is his name.
Okay.
That's correct.
Good job.
Spencer Rattler is also on this team.
Spencer Rattler. What happened to him?
35-year-old Taysom Hill is still doing his thing for this team.
Wasn't he like a
occasionally.
little fantasy guru a couple of years ago?
Yeah, well, Taysom Hill he started off as listed as a tight end, but he would, remember when Sean Payton was there those last couple of years, like they actually signed him to like a kind of a quarterback deal.
Yeah.
Paid him like $22.5 million a year, and it was like an experiment just that went completely off the rails. I mean, he gave us some interesting plays, but you still see Taysom Hill come in, and he'll come in at quarterback, and they'll run like a wildcat package, and there's Taysom Hill just getting like getting 18 yards. And you're like, well, why don't they do this more often? And then he gets another play, and he loses 6, and you're like, oh, that's right, because he only does that like once in a while.
I was wondering what happened to Spencer Rattler. So
He just has been Spencer Rattler. I think he got hurt.
the Commanders are getting 1.5 at the Vikings.
Getting 1.5.
Yep. Stay away. We have 3 candidates for the 1-800-GAMBLER.
That's not a 1-800-GAMBLER game. The Commanders are actually interesting, and the Vikings at least have interesting receivers.
This is a bad game.
I mean, this is not a good game. This is not going to make
1-800-GAMBLER game of the week. Runner up.
It's not going to make either iPad on the 4 box.
No.
Let's put it. I'll just have a 4 box and a 3 box.
The next 1:00 game is the Indy Colts giving 1.5 at Jacksonville.
At Jacksonville.
Give me the Jags money line here. Forget that 1.5. Give me the Jags money line with Daniel Jones injured. Are they going to play Anthony Richardson?
Oh God, I don't know how they can. I think if Daniel Jones can walk on his own under his own power, I think they have to play him.
Okay.
I think you just have to plan on leaning heavily on Jonathan Taylor and
I'm
hoping for the best.
I'm on the Jags here. A home dog in a huge division matchup.
Yeah. I'm leaning Colts on this one just because I think they're the better team, and I think they have the better defense.
Okay.
But you could convince me to stay the hell away from this, which I probably will do.
Baltimore is giving 5.5, hosting the Steelers in an AFC North showdown.
That is an absurd number. 5.5?
I don't know why the Ravens keep getting the benefit of the doubt, other than the Steelers are with Aaron Rodgers are not very good, and their backup is worse.
This is the thing. They look they look pretty much the same no matter which quarterback is playing. That's how you know that this is an offense that they don't have a quarterback. That's the point.
I think week 4, Lamar returning from injury, maybe he's finally right.
Yeah, I disagree with this 5.5. I think I would take the Ravens at -290, but man, 5.5 points is too much. I would take the Steelers plus 5.5. I might push that to like 6.5 or 7.5 because I think it's a touchdown game.
Yeah,
probably. But I don't know, man. These two teams are a little close for the Ravens to be giving away 5.5. I don't know. Did that just make sense what I said? I would take them. I don't know. I think I'd take the Ravens money line here, -290.
In this house only, this is the game of the week is the Buffalo Bills giving 5.5, hosting my Cincinnati Bengals.
For the 1:00 games, this is the game. This is the most important game of the 1:00 games. It means the most because it's equally important for both teams.
It's important. Well, whoever wins the Steelers-Ravens game goes up a game on Cincinnati if they don't win this.
Right. This is the Bills-Bengals is almost a loser leaves town match.
I think it is.
If the Bills drop to 7-6 in the AFC, or what are they right now? They're 7-4. If they drop to 7-5,
it's not good.
That's not good. In fact, I think it'd be 7. I'd have to look at the records again. That's really bad because they've got tough games coming up towards the end of the year here, and I don't know. I think this is to me this is loser leaves town or loser starts packing their bags at least.
According to FanDuel, Cincinnati is getting 65% of the bets against the spread, and Buffalo is getting roughly 52% of the money put on it.
Okay. Buffalo is 8-4. I misspoke. But still, if they drop to 8-5, they get into a real quagmire with all those teams, like the AFC North teams that are sort of shuffling around. And if they lose this game to the Bengals, that puts the Bengals only a game behind the Bills now.
Right.
So that's I don't know. I don't like this 5.5 number. I think that's a little. I think this game can be close. I think it can be close.
I think that the Bengals can win this. Can win this. Can they go to Buffalo and win? Yes.
Oh, absolutely they can go to Buffalo and win. There's teams, lesser teams than the Joe Burrow-led Bengals have gone to Buffalo and won this year.
What's your feeling on the over-under? It's 52.5.
Over.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
If I'm betting this, I'm going Bengals plus the 5. I'm taking the 5.5, and I'm going the over.
I think that's fair. Yep. All right. Let's see. Are we on to the 4:00 games now?
Yeah. This is the AFC West matchup. Denver Broncos at the Raiders, but the Raiders are so bad.
Broncos are laying 7.5. They're -450 favorites. The over/under is 40.5.
I think that it's going to be like 24-10.
I think you can take Broncos -7.5 and the over. They just have to get. You think the Broncos can't win 31-10 in this
No,
game?
I think they can absolutely. I think they can also win like 31-3.
Yeah, that's true. I still think the over is in play. You're going to get garbage time. You get garbage time points from the Raiders. No way the Broncos are losing this game by or winning this game by less than 10 or 10 to 13.
Yeah, I think laying the 7.5. I don't know what to do with the over under. I think they've got it at a good number. I'm staying away from that, but I'll lay the 7.5.
Okay. Yeah, agreed. We've got Rams at Cardinals. Now the Rams are in a spot where they just fell out of the number 1 seed.
Yeah, I think this is their chance to get well. I think 8.5 is too many. I'm not taking the Cardinals, but I'm certainly not laying 8.5 points.
No, I think you can take Rams money line at minus 450 because it's at the Cardinals. We know the Cardinals can score points.
Yeah.
So their offense isn't bad enough that their offense isn't good enough that they can win outright, but it's definitely not bad enough that they're going to lose by more than 8. I think you take the Rams money line if you're going to take this one at all.
The other 4:00 game is Bears at Packers. I think this is the game of the week outside of this house. The game of the week inside this house, Bills, Bengals.
Yeah. Are we going to even
for the rest of the country?
Do we even talk to each other? Do we even text with each other during that game?
Of course.
Okay.
Come on. What are you going to do?
We can get past it.
I hate you for a minute.
Yeah.
No, of course you're going to text.
Meet me outside, motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. This is biggest game of the Sunday afternoon slate.
Yeah. And the Bears are 6.5 point dogs.
This is where I don't even know how to pick this game.
I do.
Is that
you take those points?
You take the points?
You take the points.
Okay.
I think you take the over.
But you can easily see the Bears getting blown out at Green Bay.
I don't see them getting not against Green Bay. I can see them.
Okay.
I can see this as a high scoring game, but I don't see it more than 3 or 4 points either way.
Over under is 44.5. Where do you go with that? 44.5. We're talking
22, 23, 22.
28, 21.
It's probably over.
Okay. I think so too.
I think
the over
weather is
good
a factor though.
It could be. Yeah. We don't know what we looked at the weather. I don't usually look at the weather until later on. I try not to factor it in.
But it's time though. It's time to do that in Green Bay if you're going to bet the over. Mm-hmm. Because I think they have I think they keep the field thawed now. I think they have run stuff under the field and it's not frozen.
Right. No, it's not. Well, they got some kind of hybrid turf that's like part natural grass and part artificial.
But the weather could be a real factor there. Like if it's blowing snow and it's 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, that's tough scoring conditions anyway you go.
I still think the over is in play regardless.
I agree with that. All right. The Sunday night game is the Houston Texans at the Chiefs. If I can get the Texans and 3.5 points, I'm taking that.
Texans are plus 152 underdogs, and I'm telling you right now, I'm putting that in a parlay. The Texans plus 152 is almost a lock for me. Like I might have that in a couple.
Okay.
There's no way it's. I've seen enough from this Texans defense to know that they are going to do exactly what you're supposed to do against the Chiefs, just like the Bills did, just like the Cowboys kind of did. Mm-hmm. This is a big spot for the Texans. This is a loser leaves town match for these teams. It probably is, yeah. Because whoever loses this one is going to have to win every single game and get some help. I mean, the Chiefs, as it is right now at 6-6, they have to win every game and get help to get into the playoffs. Just to get into the playoffs, not to win the division. So, I think they're on the ropes, and I think.
You think the Texans are going to knock them out?
I think so. Yeah, I think this is it. I think this is it for the Chiefs for this year.
I agree with you.
And I wouldn't be surprised. If there are some bigger changes than we think in Kansas City in this offseason. not saying like Andy Reid gets fired,
No, he's
but
not gonna
maybe
get
he's
fired.
like, you know what? I'm hanging it up. I got my rings. I've been one of the best coaches. I've probably been the second best coach of the century. What more do I
Behind
have
Belichick?
to do? Yeah.
If you had to rank
yeah.
the last 25 years,
Yeah, if you're saying top 5 coaches of the 2000s till now, the last 25 years,
Andy Reid's got to be.
you're not going to find many better coaches than Belichick and Andy Reid. It's not.
Yeah, I was trying to think of somebody.
Mike Tomlin maybe, but Tomlin's not like, Tomlin's got a ring. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. His biggest claim to fame is that he takes shitty teams and gets them above 500. And I don't know if that makes you better than Andy Reid.
When did Mike Tomlin get to Pittsburgh? Was it like 2010?
Yeah, it was early 2020. It was early 2000s.
I was trying to think when who was the best coach in the first 10 or 12 years of the 21st century.
Well, you had let's see. Well, you had Belichick in there the whole time. There was that time when it looked like John Fox was kind of a thing, and then he went to Carolina.
Well,
and was
Mike
terrible.
Holmgren was still coaching.
Mike Holmgren was still coaching. You had John Gruden in the early 2000s.
You talk about somebody that's fallen off the cliff.
I know it, right? Well, I think John Gruden's doing just fine.
I think he deserved everything he got.
I think in another 5 years ish, you're going to see Sean McVay in this conversation too, and you're probably going to see Kyle Shanahan in this conversation, and maybe your boy Mike Vrabel gets there.
I don't know about Vrabel, but the Sean McVay is a good, or no, not Sean McVay.
Sean McVay. Rams.
No, I'm talking about Denver.
Oh, McDermott?
No, Denver.
Denver.
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton. Yeah. Sean Payton, the only mark on his record is he had some stinker seasons at the end with the Saints.
I get that, but like Hurricane Katrina happened in 2006.
Yeah.
And then the Saints ended up winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, because they played that whole year in like Houston or something, right?
Yeah,
or
that year,
Oklahoma
but
City
they didn't win the Super Bowl that year, but they won it like
they won it the year that they went back to playing in the Superdome.
Yeah. It was
there's not. This is one of those arguments. We'll have this argument eventually. Like,
where we actually look up the records?
What's greatest versus best? And like, you're not going to find like no one's going to say that Sean Payton was the greatest coach of the 2000s, but you find me a greater individual season than the Saints winning the Super Bowl the year after Katrina.
Yeah,
you're not going to find one.
No, it was great.
Yeah. So anyway. Where were we? Texans and Chiefs. I got Texans all day on that one.
We are to the Monday night game now.
Now we're to the Monday night game. Okay.
It's Eagles at Chargers. Chargers getting 3 at home.
Yeah.
Give me that.
Chargers are in a weird spot here too.
As long as they have their quarterback, as long as Justin Herbert is the quarterback, I'm taking the Chargers.
Okay. Now we know he's hurt. He had surgery.
Yesterday. Yeah.
On his non-throwing hand, but we'll see how much that affects him. I mean, it affected a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers, but Justin Herbert is not 41 years old or Aaron Rodgers.
I think anytime you go out there with a broken bone somewhere on your body, you aren't quite right.
You're feeling it every time, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't.
First of all, you had your body cut open 6 days before this game. So, whatever
I'm guessing
kind of
they put pins or something in
I
that?
guess they did something, put a plate in there, something to stabilize the bone.
I have played with pins in my hand. I've played basketball with pins when I was in high school.
Yeah.
There's nothing comfortable about it. I remember one day in practice, I was running the scout team against the varsity, and the best varsity player at the time tried to steal the ball from me and hit my hand.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It just puts you on your knees.
Yeah, it rocks you.
Yeah.
And he wasn't doing anything malicious, but you're playing an NFL game. You think those guys aren't going to try to get him on the ground and make him brace himself.
I mean, Rodgers couldn't hand off to his right because he couldn't hand the ball off with his left hand.
Yeah, you do it like
he had to pitch every run to the right was a pitch.
Yeah.
So it's going to change things. And the Eagles are not the kind of defense where you want to be kind of playing a helter-skelter game plan.
No.
Chargers are getting 3 at home.
I'll take the 3.
I'll take the 3 too. In fact, I would almost take the money line. If Justin Herbert was healthy, I would have taken the plus 130 money line. Although the plus 130 money line might not even be there if Herbert wasn't hurt.
No,
so
I agree with that.
We'll see.
All right,
Take a break and
let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll do our picks and we'll talk a little bit about. I have a movie list for Christmas break that I think is going to be fun.
Excellent.
For the sake of having this discussion very quickly,
yeah,
Lane Kiffin has left his team that is definitely going to make the playoffs to go take a $91 million contract before incentives with the Louisiana State University football team.
For the uninitiated here, we're now switching real quick to college football.
Do you care?
Do I care? I care in the sense that it says a lot about exactly what's happening in college football today, which is it's all money. It's all money.
It's madness.
Yeah.
The entire the NIL money, which I am all for the players getting paid. I am definitely all for the players getting paid. But the basketball players are making a lot more than the football players. Let's just put it like that.
Well, that's just because of the number of players that are on a
Correct.
team. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Except maybe in the South if you're a quarterback.
Sure.
Or a well-known player.
I will say this: there's been a lot of hand wringing about NIL and players getting paid, especially in college football the last few years.
I'm for the players being paid.
I'm for it too. I think it's fine. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry now, and it's not like it was in the 70s and 80s and 90s, or even in the early 2000s.
Back then, like even the coaches were not getting filthy rich. It was just the conferences.
The thing that bothers me about it is that we've talked for so long about there's been so much pearl clutching about players getting paid. Meanwhile, you've got all these coaches that have been able to jump ship like this
for years, for
decades.
That is
never talked about.
That has been absolutely wrong. And I just want to say this: I don't blame Lane Kiffin for taking the money.
No,
I do blame Lane Kiffin for not being able to guide his team through the playoffs and wait until the playoffs are over.
Go ahead.
It penalizes the teams that are making the playoffs or even a bowl game because the bowl games aren't played until, the last couple of weeks of December into the early January, the non-playoff bowl games. But it penalizes these teams that are making the playoffs because if they have a coach that is coveted, they have to make a decision way earlier than what they should.
And part of that is it's just a function of the college football calendar. Like you look at some of the other vacancies, Florida fired their coach in the middle of the season. UCLA fired their coach in the middle of the season. Penn State, and some of these, these schools, they've already got their next coach in place, and that's because that's how the cycle goes. Because you've got recruiting that's starting like now. I mean, signing day comes up quick. Transfer portal comes up quick. You got to have your coach in place. So it's not really Lane Kiffin's fault. In fact, to his credit, he tried to negotiate a way that he could take this job and then still coach Ole Miss through the playoffs. And they basically said, go fuck yourself. If you're taking this other job, you're gone, and you're not coaching this team through the playoffs.
And on the flip side of that, Mark Stoops, who is at UK or was at UK, just got $37 million and a pink slip.
Yeah.
Because of a ridiculous buyout. Now, did Mark Stoops go to 8 straight bowls at the University of Kentucky? Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He did.
That's why he had that stupid buyout.
Yeah.
It's too much money for a program like Kentucky. He amortized it. He's got the Bobby Bonilla contract now. where
Yeah.
he's getting paid not quite $37 million over time, or he's getting paid more than that over time.
Yeah.
I think those two things combined this week have just shown me like I do love college football. I enjoy it, just not as much as the pro game, but I do enjoy it. I enjoy the rivalries probably more in college than I do the pros. But the NCAA finally figured out how to make a playoff system. I wrote in 1991 that they could do a playoff system. When I was a high school senior, I wrote this in a column that they needed a playoffs in the college. They finally got it, a real playoff, some 30-some years later. So I'm guessing 30 years from now, the NCAA will figure out how to fix this.
Well, one other thing I'll say about this is it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Will Stein, because Kentucky almost immediately hired Oregon's offensive coordinator Will Stein, who was a star quarterback for University of Louisville. His parents went to UK, played sports at UK. He's risen up the ranks. He's only 36 years old. He's risen up the coaching ranks pretty quickly. Comes over from Oregon, and he's coming to a UK program that's we do not have a prestigious program here. As much as I love my Wildcats, as much as you love Kentucky basketball and football, it's going to be interesting to see if Will Stein is another one of these guys like a Lane Kiffin style, where if he has success here at any level, in 4 years we're going to be watching him take another job at a more prestigious school and leave Kentucky in the lurch while they're going to their next bowl game, or maybe they'll make the 64 team playoff field.
We're kind of in that same situation with Mark Pope too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he is he won a national championship here as a player. And anytime you bring one of your favorite sons back for a job that has a shelf life, and all of these jobs have shelf lives. It's not like where you can go to the University of Kentucky and work for 35 years and retire. That's not how this works for football coaches.
I think Pope will be a little bit different because of his roots in the Kentucky basketball program. It's a little bit different than
I don't think
Will
it's
Stein.
any different.
You don't think it's different?
Because
you think if because
I think if
the
Mark
difference
Pope comes here and struggles, he will get fired just like everybody else.
So, okay, he'll get fired. But I don't think Mark Pope is going to be like he wins a title or two with UK and then he gets called to go to, what's the next prestigious basketball program? That's the difference is
Mark Pope would be like his next step would be the Utah Jazz or something.
Oh, so a pro level.
Yeah, I mean that would be a next step for him.
That makes sense. The difference between the Kentucky football and basketball programs is the
vastly
football
different. But what
the
I'm
football
saying
game
is,
doesn't the football team doesn't spend NIL money. They don't spend. They're not. It's not a prestigious town to live in. I mean, Lexington is nice, but it's not any different than where Ole Miss is playing. So
no, it's way better than where Ole Miss is. But that's beside the point.
Fine.
For every Bill Belichick and Mike Tomlin, there are 100 other guys.
Yeah.
That have come and gone. There are 100 other John Foxes. For every Pete Carroll, there are 25 NFL coaches that were head coaches and now are coordinators again. Anyway,
Okay.
let's move on.
I'm sure Nick Saban will rail against Lane Kiffin jumping ship and skipping out on loyalty. Oh wait, no, he won't. He only complains about that with players.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You want to get to our picks?
All right. I'm going to start with a big one.
Okay.
My first pick of the week is 20 pesos. Mm-hmm. It is a 5-leg parlay. only plus 227.
Okay.
I've got Seattle minus 405, Tampa minus 500, Cleveland minus 215, Denver minus 450, and the Los Angeles Rams minus 450.
And that gets you to plus what?
Plus 227.
You have Cleveland in a 5-leg parlay. I commend you, sir. You are just not. You're not letting
delusion.
You're not letting anything. You're not letting anything. You are just. You've blacked out the rearview mirror. You're just like
I continue to dig the hole.
Nothing that's happened in this season so far is deterring you from making potentially bad decisions. And
Disastrous.
I applaud you for it.
Disastrous. Go on.
I have
Let's hear everything that's going to hit this week.
my first pick is a 2-leg parlay, money line parlay. I've got Dallas at plus 132 because I cannot believe that Dallas is getting plus money against the Lions. And then Lanny, the third straight week, I'm involving
the JETS.
the JETS Jets at plus 124 at home over the Miami Dolphins. And those two together get me to plus 419.
Nice.
And I'm putting 30 pesos.
Hey, folks, I'm telling you, if you are watching this podcast and you don't put that down as straight money, Holmes, you better get it. You better get it on.
Here's what I can guarantee: if you don't put money on that game, you will still have that money at the end of the week.
That's the only guarantee we'll give you.
That's right. What do you got next?
Same game parlay plus 234. Denver minus 7.5 and over 40.5.
Okay.
And that is 20 pesos.
I like that. What did that get you to overall for the bet?
Plus 234.
Plus 234. And you're putting, you said 30.
No, 20. 20 on everything.
20 on
I've got
everything.
5 bets this week.
Okay, cool. We can do that. I like that. There's that Denver game, that's going over. It's going over. I know that I realize it's the Raiders, but Denver could probably score 35 on that.
I think the Raiders are going to get 3 or 7 or fewer.
That's a 35-7, 35-10 kind of game.
I agree with you.
Yeah. My next one is a 3-leg parlay. I took a little bit of what I did was a little bit of a big favorites plus somebody who I think should be a favorite. So I've got Seattle minus 405 over the Falcons, Tampa Bay minus 500 over the Saints, and then I'm taking Houston at plus 152 on the road against the Chiefs. I think that Chiefs line is a mirage. I don't think the Chiefs are as good as Houston. I think their defense I think Houston's defense is gonna stifle Mahomes.
I need a screenshot of this when we're done so I can actually make some.
Okay.
Privately make some picks.
Gotcha. So that's going to get me plus 277. I'm putting 30 pesos on that.
I think the Chiefs, I want to say that picking against the Chiefs is brave, but I don't think it is. I think it's smart.
I think this year, I think their lines are inflated. I don't think they should be favored in this game.
All right. 20 pesos, same game parlay.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati Bengals plus 5.5. I'm not brave enough to take a money line, but plus 5.5. And over 52.5. I think that game is going to be like 35-30.
You're going to be surprised how much I agree with you on that. And that got you to plus what?
Plus 226.
Plus 226. Okay. Yeah, you're going to be surprised. Well, maybe you won't be surprised because I've got that game later on here. Right now, I have another 2-leg parlay. I'm sorry. I'm putting 2 individual bets down here.
All right.
I'm going to take the Chargers at plus 130. They're at home for the Eagles on Monday night.
I like that pick. I thought about putting the Chargers in a couple of different things, and I'm hesitant because of Herbert.
It's because of Herbert. That's the thing that makes me nervous. That's why I'm just putting it in an individual bet. I'm just putting 10 pesos on it. But I think if Philly can't win at home against the Bears, what on earth makes us think that they should be favorites on the road against the Chargers?
I 100% agree with you.
I've also got the Chicago Bears plus 6.5 against the Packers. I don't know that they win that game outright, but I like the plus 6.5. I think it's going to be a pretty close game, and I'm putting 10 pesos on that one.
All right. I have a 3-leg parlay. This is all alternate lines. It gets me to plus 145 overall.
Okay.
The New York Jets plus 8.5, which is minus 350.
Plus 8.5, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
The Seattle Seahawks minus 2.5, which is minus 330. They're at Atlanta.
Okay.
And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers minus 5.5, hosting New Orleans, and that's minus 215.
Okay.
For a plus 145.
45. 20 pesos. Okay. I like those. Tampa Bay is the one that screws that up, right? Tampa Bay,
Or Seattle. I mean,
Yeah, Seattle maybe. Seattle. That's
2.5 points on the road. Like I could not, in good conscience, do like 6 or 7 points on the road, even if it's Atlanta.
Yeah, sure. Okay. It's just the only thing is to watch out for those West Coast teams going east, playing at 1:00.
Agreed.
My last one. I've only got the 4 picks this week, but I do have. This is another parlay. I've got Denver -7.5 over the Raiders. I think that clears easily. I can't believe it's only -7.5. Honestly, I thought it'd be more like -9.5, -10.5. I've got New Orleans +8.5, just because I think the Bucs are a little shaky right now. And then I had to have a little action on Cincinnati and Buffalo. I've got the over 52.5 for Cincinnati and Buffalo. Those 3 together get me to +587.
Man, you have some long shots in here that I love this week.
I've figured out how to put these like short odds minus numbers together and get like 4-1, 5-1, 6-1. Had the 8-1 on the Thanksgiving games. You got to watch for some of those. Sometimes these lines, we get later in the year, some of these lines start to make, some of them make a lot of sense and some of them make not a whole lot of sense.
All right, my last pick is the Dallas Cowboys money line at Detroit, taking them straight up.
Okay.
In the over of 54.5. That game could also be 35-30.
Okay. What's that get you to?
Plus 287.
287. Okay. I like it.
All right, moving on real quick. We have gone long already, but we're going to talk.
That's okay. We went short last week.
Yeah,
we got done, and I was
hour
like,
15.
I was like, oh, that's an hour and a half, right? No, it's an hour and 15 minutes. We put a big old stamp on last week, mailed it in.
All right. We're taking both of us are taking long Christmas vacations, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm off like 17 days in a row.
Yeah, I'm off. I put in for 2 full work weeks off, so yeah, it's gonna be like 17 days, something like that.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
I really like the winter vacations.
Yeah.
Like I'm fine with like getting some projects done at home and just like sitting down.
Yep.
I don't have to go somewhere.
Nothing that you have to do.
Right.
Yep.
Like it's a lot of pajama time and
That's right.
watching TV that I want to watch.
Getting up at 9:30.
Yes.
You're sitting down.
You get your clock right.
Yeah.
Bedtime is 1, wake time is like 8:30.
That's right. Maybe there's an edible on board before noon.
I would love
You never
that.
know,
All right, so we're talking about some of the quintessential 90s movies, and I'm going to narrow this down to like movies that are like what it was like to be a 20-something in the 90s.
Okay.
So
You're speaking my language now. This is
Yeah.
great. And I don't really know. You didn't tell me a whole lot about this. You mentioned a few movies, but
okay, so I've got 68 titles. I have no interest in watching
did you
all
say
6
68
On
or
this-
6 to 8?
68.
68.
But I'm not going to name all these. I'm just going to do
Man,
some
you
of the
really
ones.
do have big plans for winter break, don't you?
Yeah, I'm going to list about 10.
Okay.
I have watched it in somewhat recently, but I want to see it again. Singles.
Oh,
1992, Matt Dillon. It's considered one of the 3 most defining films of the decade, and it features an Alice in Chains song.
oh, it doesn't just feature an Alice in Chains song.
It has a bunch.
Have you
Mother Love Bone is
Mother
in there.
Love Bone is in there. Like
There are cameos from Pearl Jam.
plays, like Eddie Vedder plays like a sleazy member of the band the band called Citizen Dick, which I was in a side note. I was in a 90s cover band about 15 years ago with some friends around here. We call ourselves Citizen Dick, and we were just playing 90s grunge and stuff like that. Smashing Pumpkins, Alice in Chains. Yeah, it's a great movie. I would say that anybody who, if you still listen to like any version of an album, just go on Spotify and look up the singles soundtrack.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's banger after banger after banger.
All of them.
Yeah. There's some Hendrix thrown in there. It's great.
Isn't which Alice in Chains song is it Wood?
I think it's Wood. Yeah.
which is pretty dark
Oh,
for a
man.
romantic comedy.
Well, tell me, yeah. But I mean, if you're putting an Alice in Chains song in your movie, you're going dark.
All right, there's a movie that is not well known. 1994. It's called Safe. It's called SFW, which stands for Safe for Work.
Okay.
And it is also considered one of the 3 films that captured the 90s perfectly, along with the next one, Reality Bites.
Yes. Okay. Reality Bites.
Ethan Hawke, Winona Ryder.
Yes.
I just finished that series with Ethan Hawke. Still so good, so interesting to watch.
I'm familiar. I'm more familiar with that one than I am with SFW.
It's hard watching Winona Ryder play a mom in Stranger Things because back in the day, man, she was it.
Yeah. She was her fastball was about 106.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
All right, another one that is kind of definitive of the 90s, and I was working retail in the 90s, so this even hits a little harder.
Okay.
Empire Records.
Oh. What's with Today?
I don't know that movie as well.
Mark, you love Gwar. Why don't you join the band? You're not. These are not registering.
I've not seen it.
There's a limited selection of people that are out there watching this that are on the floor right now laughing.
But it is described as 24 hours in the lives of the young employees of Empire Records as they grow up and become young adults, and thanks to each other and their manager. And that resonates with me working in retail at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Liv Tyler's in that.
Is the big star in that. Steven Tyler's daughter.
Yes.
Renee
Zellweger, Ethan Embry, who's been in all those, he was in Can't Hardly Wait.
Yep. One of the guys, the guy, Mark, not Mark, the guy that says, "What's with Today?" What's that actor?
That.
Oh yeah,
I don't know that line.
He's the guy who's like he was left with the responsibility of putting the money away or getting the money to the bank, and instead he took it to Vegas.
Oh gosh,
blew it all. He later played a really fun character on CSI Miami, which for a while was the Baywatch of the early 2000s.
Okay.
But it's a great movie. It is a great movie.
All right, another one that is not as well known. It gets 6.6 stars according to IMDb, and it is called Kicking and Screaming, and it's basically about guys that are post-college.
Okay.
And are finding it no different than during college. They're just not doing well.
Who's in that one? Do you have because I know that one, but I don't know if I've seen it more than maybe once.
It has Josh Hamilton, Eric Stoltz, Catherine Keener.
Okay. Yeah.
Olivia Diabo.
Okay.
Man, she was hot.
I don't remember her.
Parker,
what else was she in?
Parker Posey.
Oh, Parker Posey. Okay, well, now you're talking my language.
Eliza Roberts, which I think is Eric Roberts, maybe Julia Roberts' sister or his wife. I don't know. Olivia Diabo is this person.
He's showing me a picture.
Is that person?
I don't know who that. I don't know who that is. Here, you want me to? Yeah, he's going to switch it. Nobody cares. Look her up, Olivia Diabo. What else was she in? Does she have anything else of note on her IMDb?
I'm sure she does.
Okay.
I've seen Clueless recently, so I'm not going to watch that, but that's always a good one.
Clueless is a fun watch.
I can't get away from this without saying Swingers.
Oh, I was going to ask if that was on the list.
Swingers has to be on the list.
Swingers is that 1999?
No, it's like 1996.
Okay. Well, we should look that up because I've got one that's from 1999 that I think should be on this list too.
What is it?
It's a movie called Go. Have you ever heard this?
Nope.
Okay. It's got Jay Moore, Scott Wolf from
Jay
Party
Moore
of Five.
Is hilarious.
Scott Wolf from Party of Five. You remember Party of Five?
Yes.
He played Bailey in Party of Five. Katie Holmes, an early Katie Holmes role.
Oh, wow.
Timothy Oliphant has a part in it. William Fichtner, who, if you don't know who William Fichtner is, he was in, Apollo 11. No, not Apollo 11. I'm sorry, that was Kevin Bacon. William Fichtner has been in a lot of things. He's one of that guys. Like you see him in stuff, and you're like, oh, there's that guy. And then also Sarah Polley is the lead in that movie. Now, not a lot of people are going to know that name, Sarah Polley, but she has won a few Oscars for Best Original Screenplay.
Okay.
In the last few years. She won. I'm looking it up now under her awards. She was won for Best Adapted Screenplay for Women Talking in 2023. She was nominated for Best Writing for Best Adapted Screenplay for a movie called Away From Her in 2008. She's won multiple. She's been widely considered an excellent writer and director. But she has a really cool role in this, and it's basically it's hard to describe that movie. It's hit or miss in a lot of places. But when you talk about like 90s, like post high school, not necessarily kids that went to college or maybe went to college and didn't get through college or whatever. It's that kind of life, like mid late 20s afterwards. And if you haven't seen it, I would recommend it because it is pretty fun.
All right, I'm going to give a couple of honorable mentions. Like if you get to these during Christmas, good for you. Bottle Rocket, which is Wes Anderson's first film.
Great film.
It
Very
has
underrated.
Owen and Luke Wilson. It's his first feature length.
Underrated.
He did it as a short before that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about it. They just think that Wes Anderson starts with Rushmore, and it's no. There's another one before that. Go find it.
True Romance.
Yes.
It's written by Quentin Tarantino. And directed
Yep.
by Tony Scott.
Yep.
And has Christian Slater.
Lots of somewhat, I wouldn't say bad blood between Tony Scott and Tarantino over that, but I think Tarantino always kind of felt like Tony Scott didn't do his screenplay.
Well, how
justice.
could Tarantino had his own mind.
Yeah. And that was between, he wrote that screenplay pre Pulp Fiction, I believe, but it didn't end up getting made until the mid-90s.
One more honorable mention is Hackers. And if you haven't seen that recently, Angelina Jolie looking her absolute worst.
That's a great list. There's not a movie on there that I wouldn't want to sit down and watch.
Yeah.
During a break.
I want to see some of those just because I like thinking about that. Christmas time always makes me nostalgic for years past. Just two more little things. If you are more of a person that grew up in a city, Boys in the Hood and Do the Right Thing.
Yes.
Do the Right Thing is actually 1989, but that's the era of like Vanilla Ice, and that's kind of when that got a little more mainstream.
Yeah. It's just at the tail end of 80s hip hop.
Yes.
It's right before like you had Wu-Tang Clan and Nas and Biggie Smalls.
Yeah, it's right before Biggie and Tupac and all those guys. But you still had LL Cool J, I guess.
Yeah.
He was still rapping then.
Yeah.
And you had Dr. Dre.
Yeah. It was a good time. It was right before it was right before another like a big shift in the hip hop world. How do you feel about, since we're talking about Christmas time, how do you feel, where do you come down on the argument that Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie? Where do you come?
I think
Die Hard.
Lethal Weapon and
Lethal
Die
Weapon.
Hard are
Okay.
both Christmas movies.
Both Christmas movies because they take place at Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree.
Ho.
I agree with. Now, there's people that will argue
Now,
up and down.
is
about
it great
this.
family fun? No, I mean, but I tell you what,
Well, it depends on what kind of family you have. If they're cool with yippee ki-yay, motherfucker.
Well, one of my kids dropped an F-bomb into casual conversation today, and nobody even took second notice of it. She's 15.
It's so different now, though.
I would have never done that. Like, I'll tell you this.
Oh, if I'd done that,
I would have
would've
never
been
done
beat
that
to
in front of my
death.
parents, but
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so glad my kids are comfortable expressing themselves.
Oh, my mom would have been chasing me around the kitchen with
Yeah.
a wooden spatula.
Yeah.
If I dropped an F-bomb just in regular conversation.
Well, just a
At
real
15?
quick. Give me two movies.
Mm-hmm.
Give me two movies that no matter what, if they are on as you're flipping through channels,
Mm-hmm.
you will watch.
Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
I got to come up with only two. I'm trying to
We'll
think.
have this as a bigger discussion later, but I just
Yeah,
it was heavy on my heart when you said Die Hard.
I mean, I guess
Heavy on my heart.
Yeah, I guess if it's just flipping through channels and something that's likely to be on. I know that basically any Ron Howard movie
Okay.
is just like a good. It's just like a good. You can jump in any time. It's going to be like a Forrest Gump or not. That Forrest Gump wasn't Ron Howard. Like an Apollo 13 for example. I can jump into Apollo 13 at any point.
No
I
matter
know
what.
exactly what's going to happen. I mean, you kind of knew what was going to happen when the movie came out, but it's still I can jump into that anytime. And then there's like Pulp Fiction and I can list a million different movies, but whether or not those are going to come up on TV when you're flipping through is another story.
Die Hard is one for me.
Absolutely. Christmas Vacation.
That's a good one,
Yeah.
but it only comes on like in July and then December, basically.
Right.
But Die Hard, for me, is so memorable because when I was in high school, my friend Joe, his mom had that poster, and we had that movie on VHS.
Mm-hmm.
And we just ended up watching a lot of everything that Bruce Willis did early on in his career. And we loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Loved all of it.
Yeah.
So Die Hard is one, and Heat.
Oh, see, I forgot about
If Heat comes on,
Yeah, if Heat is on, I'm
I can
jumping
pick
in.
it up at any
Yeah.
point in time.
And you have a long window with that because like they'll put like the edited for TV version on most of the time, which is cut down to like 2.5 hours or
it's-
something.
Yeah,
But then
don't watch that version.
sometimes you'll come across the version that's like it's on for 4 hours.
the HBO version
Yeah.
is the one you got to get.
Yeah.
Jaws. Whenever Jaws comes on, I watch it, and they had the 50th anniversary this year, and it was on quite a bit. But like, I like the first half of Jaws better than I like the second half of Jaws.
Oh man. Yeah. Except once they're out on the boat.
I like the
God, it
I
gets
like
so good when they're out once they're out on the boat.
I like the first part of Jaws to the Indianapolis speech,
Okay.
because after that you lose a little of the realism for me.
Okay.
But that is really nitpicking. I love that whole
Yeah.
movie. It is my favorite movie.
It's a great movie. There's so many. So that movie has influenced in so many ways the way that people make movies, all the way to today.
Yeah, I mean, it was the original blockbuster.
It's first big summer blockbuster.
Jaws enabled Return of the or not shit of Star. Jaws enabled Star Wars.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, which enabled big things like Indiana Jones and Back to the Future, and hell, in some ways, it kind of created the foundation for what became every year you have a gigantic superhero movie, right? Because it's just what's the big summer blockbuster?
If only we'd known.
That's right. I know.
All right, well, let's
that
put
it?
a bow on this
Do
thing.
we get it?
Yes.
Okay. Like and subscribe, folks.
Yeah.
Especially if you're out there watching our shorts, come and watch it for 90 minutes instead, or an hour and 45, or 2 hours, or however long we decide to do it. We will be back next week. Let's Spotify, Apple.
YouTube, Apple Podcasts,
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
And if you want to send us an email, bet small, lose small at gmail.com. We'll see you next week.
All right.